Hey, welcome into another Tony Talks Trash about music. Tonight it's Tony and Dino talking trash about the band Sparks, man. We kind of discovered that, yeah, Dino and I have been friends for a long time, but it was a long time, I guess, into our friendship till we realized that, we both like the band Sparks because there wasn't a whole lot of people, back here in Kaiser, although some of the bands that we've covered here have been, were more popular in Kaiser than they were other places. Sparks was kind of your thing, Dino. When did you tell me a little bit about when you got into it? I guess I was away from Kaiser when I got into it, really heavy.
Well, I was still in high school,
Oh my,
and I went down to that place there in LaVale and got some cutouts. I think that's where I first found Indiscreet and Propaganda, and
yeah,
and yeah, it was crazy because it was one of those bands I just kept to myself. You know what I mean?
yeah. I liked him a
And
lot too.
like I wasn't gonna, you know what I mean? I wasn't gonna sell you on it. If if I mention it once and you're like, uh, I'm like, screw Tony. I'm not gonna, you know what I mean?
And
It's like it was. I enjoyed it. I didn't give a damn what anyone else
yeah,
thought.
and they,
You
and
know.
they didn't have kind of the same presence as some of the other bands we had, where you had the album tour thing. Because by that
Oh, and yeah,
they
yeah,
and
their success was not here. You
yeah.
know.
And I guess when you look at the history of them, being the brothers Mail, everybody knows or they should know the history of that. Pacific Palisades, California, born semi-rich, kids. 71 to present, you know, discovered first Todd Rundgren. I guess they had a another the other past members of it. Earl Mankey, surprisingly,
Yeah.
Earl had played in with the Beach Boys, I guess, and Brian Wilson some was somewhat instrumental in him when he did Beach Boys Love You and stuff in 1976. Dinky Diamond and all that band where they had
Love it.
over in England, that great band. So I guess, Dino, the first big thing was when they decided to. They started off these couple records with Rundgren, and then they didn't really hit it, and then they or Rundgren, and then James Lowe, and then they decided to
Yeah.
make a big move over to England, huh?
Yeah, and that's where they've I mean, for years you didn't hear about them here in the States much. I mean, as far as touring, they never toured. They would go, and if they toured, they did L.A. and New York, and that's it. 2 nights in New York, 2 nights in L.A. They're L.A. based. Many people for many decades thought they were a British band. They had no idea they were even based in the U.S. And their success came in Europe, especially the UK. All the time that you weren't seeing them in the United States in the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, they were in Europe selling out 5,000 seaters.
It
You
is
know?
interesting too that what they did, after they went through the Giorgio Moroder, and we'll talk about that with the big switch there, and really the thing it does not talked about enough with that record is how completely fucking innovative, and how for the first time, records were done. That was one of the first concept like dance records. It just really knocked it out, man. It was a hell of it with the synthesizer. It was one hell of a change. But then they went from that into more of a rock sound, and I kind of like that era after that. The year when they want that sucker, and
Oh, I did. That was my favorite. I played a lot of that, and that was a great era. I mean, they've been so they can play and their style just jumps everywhere. You cannot look at them at any decade even and say this is what they are. You know, they're a pop band, they're a rock band, they're a synth band. They can literally do anything, and Ron can write for anything, you
what?
know.
Yeah, what's interesting is with this new thing here, Dino, is you've got Annette, which was coming at the same time, and they have all these other things. But it seems like with their home now, with more of their recent things, and this is after their Euro comeback with "When Do I Get to Sing My Way" and that, and we'll
Oh
get
yeah.
to the lean years between interior design and that. But the after that, it seems like they've kind of settled into a thing where they record over at
At Russell's house, is it Russell's? I think.
yeah.
And I mean, the thing about them I think we talked about this before. If something happens to either one of the brothers, the treasure trove of music that they've got backed up at the home studio, it could. And I'm not being, uh, you know, outlandish about this. I think there might be when they eventually kick it or decide to not tour anymore or not to record. We're probably talking 10 to 15 full albums that they'll leave behind.
I'm surprised we haven't seen anything new since Girls Crying.
Well, I know, but I did read something the other day that this is like 2025. They're taking a break, but
Uh,
I think but they treat the music business and the creative process as a job. Like they get out and they go to each other's house or they go to Russell's and they treat it as a job. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. You
And
know what I think
they work 9 to 5 every day. You
what
know?
what I think is neat is the way they've kind of finally broken into the states a little bit, and they're dipping their toe. I think they're kind of
Oh yeah.
happy about it. You could tell, and that show that we went, you got those great tickets, and we ended up
Right. That was the 23 show. Yeah.
unbelievable, man. It was really good. But yeah, that's a lot of stuff. So I guess what we're going to be counting down here is 27 records. We're going to count the studio records, and then the we're going to include
Soundtrack.
the soundtrack to Annette, and also the self cover record Plagiarism. So with
Yeah.
that, man, we'll see where we get it. We're probably going to break this into, because of length. We're going to end up breaking this off at some point, and we're going to have do two nice parts with this, because these guys have had such a great career with such a wonderful and largely undiscovered catalog of records. I think there's certainly room for more growth of fans, and certainly for people to jump on board. So
Right. And I think I definitely, I wholeheartedly recommend anyone that's not as familiar with the band is definitely see Edgar Wright's The Sparks Brothers. I mean, it's available for streaming. I mean, he has been a fan for so many decades, and he treats this whole subject very lovingly. And he's a great director anyway, if you haven't seen his films. And he does a fantastic job from start to finish, and really and encapsulates their entire career. So, if you're ever having any questions, spend a couple hours and watch the documentary. It's amazing.
it is really great, man. So you want to kick us off, Dino, and tell us where we're at here with
Absolutely,
your
and like I say, this is another group that can change. Probably the bottom 10 may not change as much, but the top, the top 10 probably could change a lot. I'm starting with number 27. I'm going with 1988's interior design.
Okay, let me grab it out of here, brother. Hold on a second. Got it right here, man.
There it is. Yeah. Some good songs on there, but it's just there's some albums that and I'll be very honest, I don't go back to as often. I really don't. I cherry pick a couple songs here and there, and interior design is one of those. Uh,
I
and
understand.
it could have very easily changed with number 22, on the list.
Well, this record, something about it. I guess I'm a little more fond of it than you are. I like Love Rama, Toughest Girl in Town. Of course, we saw, and
Right.
they played that live. But Madonna, I wasn't too crazy about that. But
Yeah.
and what's funny is that they this was the what's funny is that after this record, like we said, there was a lot. Their record deal had gone, and that they were kind of out of it for a.
They were in limbo. Yeah, they were in limbo,
What
definitely.
happened? Did they try to sell out? They sold out for like a Tim Burton or something, didn't they? What happened with this?
Yeah, I believe that's what the way it worked. And they had a lean period, as you saw in the documentary, and they've always been very smart with their money. They know there's tomorrow's night are right around the corner, and they're very conservative. And a lot of bands or singers or songwriters have gone by the wayside thinking we're going to work like this for the next 5 or 6 years. They've always kept everything very close to the vest. And during those downward periods, they worked all the time. They wrote and recorded, but they never had the record deal and they never toured. So they were,
and that's when gratuitous sax and my way and all that came, and then that
yes,
too.
yes.
All right, man. My number 27. I'm going to go to number 27 is 2009. Problem is to me this is not. It's largely like a documentary of a play, and I'm talking about the seduction of
Yeah.
Bergman. Number
Yes.
27. I liked it. I like what's in here, but so much of this is spoken word, and so much of this is the story.
Yeah.
And I think it's good, and I think it's nice. But the truth of it is as far as listening, and
Yeah.
there's some good tracks here. But
You're not pulling that out every week.
yeah, you saw some of that on that. Did they not play some of that on that tour you saw with when they had two hands? Did they play some of
They did on yes. The Two Hands, the live tour, I saw that twice,
that?
and they did Ingmar Bergman.
Yeah, I
Yes.
that condensed thing. That was great. But
Oh, it was great.
mm,
You know, two hands, one mouth, and it was just them. It was just it was just Ron and Russell on a black stage, and Ron had his black piano that says Ronald, his Roland, and that's literally all they had with them. One mic and one piano,
oh,
one keyboard.
he's such a good singer now, man. What's your 26?
26 gratuitous sax and senseless
Oh
violins.
boy.
94. Yeah. I
Well, see now I feel bad because I thought I underrated it because everybody prayed and it was reissued and everything because it was the great
yeah.
once again. But when do I get to sing my way? I hear Charlie Parker playing, Frankly Scarlet. I mean, hear no evil, speak no evil.
Yeah. I mean, I liked, My Way, and I liked a couple of other
Yeah.
tracks, but there's just certain ones that end up, where they are. I mean, a lot of things I judge are what I listen to the most. Okay. And that hasn't been on my playlist for quite a while.
Now that I own the BBC, that's a big one.
Yes.
All right, man. That's your number 26. My number 26 is going to be the one that they touched on there, the one that was even reissued. They had such little respect for this record, MCA, when it was done, that they actually reissued it overseas under a different, like the Best of Sparks or something,
Right.
studio record. And that record is called Music, and I don't have it here. That is called Music That You Can Dance To. And that's from
Okay.
86.
Yeah.
And that's one of the 3 or 4 here. I'm going to ask Joe to put up here. That's another one that I don't have here. I have the record again. I don't know
Right.
what it is. There's a couple of them that are missing. It pisses me off every single time. People think
Yeah.
I'm kidding. But I actually bought the reason I know this is I'm missing one of the ones before, like I told you. And I remember just having the last 2 years because it had never been out before. I was happy with it.
Yeah.
I like those. I like that record. But anyway,
Well, we definitely differ on that one.
oh, you didn't like that one I was talking about then? The one that I'm.
No, I mean, music that you can dance to was your 26, right?
That's my number 26, 1986. Not that big of a deal with that one. I don't like the style of it. It's always kind of, I don't know what it is about it, man. It's okay. I
Yeah.
like when they included that song. That was good. But it's just never been my thing. Maybe the fact of the full wholehearted embracing of the disco thing kind of turned.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
I'm okay, I'm going to jump to 25.
Okay, man.
My 25 is The Seduction of Igmar Bergman.
Okay. There,
So, that is we've talked about that, it's
start here, man.
that's my thing too, man. I
So these
just
are hard to find after the fact. I was chasing after them right about when I got this. I hit the fever hard.
yeah,
Started to listen to all of them on YouTube
especially with vinyl.
to get
Yeah.
I could, and so this one was kind of was pricey when I got it. Yep. Okay, that's your number 25. My number
Yeah.
25. I'm going pop here, man. I'm going Jane Weedland. I'm going Cool Places. I like it okay, but I'm talking about an Outer Space 2.5.
Yeah.
Think about his sex, rocking girls. I wish I looked a little better. Dance, goddamn it, it's just a little shallow. The words
That
for them is a little shallow, and so I mean the music's great. It's entertaining. He had a good band, great band here
that's in outer space, right? Yeah.
in outer
I guess.
space. Yeah, here's the one they're
Yes.
outside, or is that Seattle? I don't know where this is. Or somewhere
Yeah.
but yeah. But anyway, yeah. So
There you
for
go.
25, 1983,
I get it.
and
So my number 20. I'm gonna jump to 24 and get this thing going. Uh, Going back to 1971, produced by Todd Rundgren. It's Half Nelson.
Okay. Half Nelson, Joe. It was, and I've got the reissued version of Sparks here, just the album Sparks. Joe,
Yes,
the
there
Joe,
you
get
go.
up really fast here. The original record, just flash it. Don't put it up there.
That's it.
But this is She Was a Wonder Girl.
Wonder Girl's a great song.
Fa fa fa. I like it a lot. You know, I love that first.
I do, but I have so much in front of it.
I understand.
It's like,
I understand. Did you ever hear that one, that other bootleg that was out before that? Let me see where this one is. Half Nelson. Here's all. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, man. That was good. Go ahead. That was my number. That was your
that was my 24.
that was your number 24. Okay. My number 24. I'm going to go to one that again is in pretty much in the same vein as that, man. This is an era I don't like, and the fact that you
Yeah.
like think you can dance to scares me because you'll probably like this a lot. You'll probably be shocked, but this is my number 24.
Oh,
Pulling rabbits out of a hat. I'm not crazy.
I get you. I get you. Yeah, yeah,
It's to pretending to be drunk. Progress with all my. You know, this is kind of in the Russ is the stud. You
yeah.
know, where all the songs really were about, kiss me quick, or either about sex or some kind of casual thing. And I
Right.
like it. I like it. They're not all like that, but it's not as inspired, I think, lyrically and musically. They're kind of still
Yeah,
on number one in heaven, and I think it's a little deficient
yeah.
to me. But anyway, that's my number 24. 1984 is Pulling Rabbits.
Well, I get you. It's a couple really good standout tracks, and then not.
Yeah, yeah,
so,
got you, man.
uh, so my 23 is from 1980, and it was the follow up to number one in heaven,
Oh,
and that is Terminal Jive.
with the fabulous "When I'm
Yes,
with you, with you, with you, with you." I love it, man. That's one of my very favorite. I just think that song. I know that.
that song is great. Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
this was Giorgio Moroder, and then they ended up this other guy. It was Harold guy. They ended up working with this guy. They ended up Harold
Yeah.
Meyer or
So
whatever.
they were in the same vein in
Yeah.
that for that album. Yeah.
Well, didn't that guy Harold Faltermeyer end up doing some
He did Axel F,
actual? Right, I knew.
the Beverly Hills Cop theme. Yeah.
Gotcha, man. Well, while we're doing it, man, let's put it away because that's my number 23, my friend. 1980
there
Criminal Jive, man. I like it.
it is.
Ask noisy boys and young girls. It's okay. Stereo's all right, Grace. When I'm with you, I love. But I mean, the fact that he put the instrumental on too. I love the song, but it is.
Yeah.
It seemed a little short to me. It sounded like they were working on the record, and it just didn't sound as deeply and as focused as the other thing was. It kind of sounded in the same vein, and all these great, terminal photos and things inside this wonderful record. I love it. This
Yeah.
was fine too. Later on, I chased after it, but this was a hard one to get on vinyl. But I got her so that we can put that one away. That's the number. That's our number. That's my number 23. Terminal Jive.
Okay. My number 22 is from 1976, and that's Big Beat.
Oh, okay. 1976 is Big Beat. Give me a second here.
And I've tried to love it for a long time. so,
How about that?
I-
How about that movie that it's in? What's that roller or what's that one where the broken and killing people?
roller coaster. Yeah.
I have to admit, dude, I have really fond of this. I like it a lot. I know it's
I know, and
weird. I know it's weird. I know he's Mr. Rock Star out front, and he's playing guitar, and there's less keyboards, and it's different, but nothing to do in Big Boy and Fill Her Up. I love it, man. I like this record. I mean, I like Girls is good, White Women. I think this record's great. I really, really like it a lot. I mean,
I know. There's too much to like. That's the problem with all these.
yeah.
But I put it down there.
Give me a second. Let me find out where this goes here. Give me 1 second. I've got to put this back right. Just go ahead and okay. All right, go
So
ahead.
that was 22 for
Go ahead. I'm
me.
sorry I keep leaning over, guys. This doesn't make for very good TV or video.
What do you have?
There's too many
For 20?
records. So what was yours? That was your number
Mine,
two?
that was 22. So you got to
Okay,
do
my number
20.
22 may shock you.
I'm sure it will.
May shock you, but I'm going to the last record. The Girl's Crying in Her Latte. That's my number
Wow.
2021. I like it, but I don't like it that much. I like it, but I think it's great. You know, Veronica Lake is good.
Yeah.
Peter was great. We Go Dancing was really cool.
Yeah.
Gee,
It
that
was.
one was neat, but I don't like the title track that much. It's okay. I like
Yeah.
it. But that's my number 20,
20.
1921.
So I'm on to 21 now.
Yes, sir.
My 21 is from 1997, and that's plagiarism.
Okay, put that up there, Joe. That's one I do not have.
Now, plagiarism is everybody, a lot of people guest starring on that,
Correct.
including the folks from Faith No More.
Yes.
And everybody that, I mean, it was a great little
Tribute.
tribute slash they're still alive and they're playing with us, type thing. And I remember when it came out, I was living, I was back north, and I listened to it quite a bit. Uh, and I liked some of the covers slash tributes.
Well,
And
what were they pushing there, Dino? Was it like This Town or something? Was the other?
yeah, this town ain't big enough. Yeah, they were doing that, and that was on the Oleo Records label, I
Yeah,
believe.
it was. And
Oleo did a lot of comedy records at the time.
only
Yeah.
non-vinyl title left. Yep.
Right, right. But that's my 21.
1997. Yep.
1997's plagiarism.
All right, man. I'm going to go back. So we're pretty close. For 21, I'm going to go to the unfortunately the somewhat sad to me interior design. 921. I like it a little better than you,
There you go.
but that was
Yeah,
and that was 88. We went through the forest a little bit after that,
yeah,
till we got back in it, but that's my number. We've talked about that record already, so that's my number 20.
right.
Interior design from 1988.
Which we've already hit. Yep. So 20, my 20 is from 1973, and it's a woofer and tweeters clothing.
Ooh. And interesting, there's a bootleg of that I love that has
Yeah,
stuff on it. It's really good.
it is. Yeah, but it just ended up there, man.
This
I
is
don't know.
James Lowe, man. This is the one that had the Beaver O'Lindy that we saw there. Nothing is sacred. Moon over Kentucky. Do re mi. I loved. Batteries not included. Whippings and apologies. Kind of a strange S&M songs. The apology part kind of being.
Yeah.
But Russell sitting here in his plaid jumpsuit, man.
It
But this was
was a good band
right
at
before
the time.
he made the move that you were talking about, Dino. This is right before that. But yep.
Yeah. So that was my 20.
That was your number 20. Well, for my number 20, we're close to the same damn page, buddy. I'm not quite as clacking my clogs to the European dance hall beat of Now That I Own the BBC, or it's just a little bit too drama like. I don't know, it's a little too much like theater music. We can do
Gratuitous Sex and Senseless
so good.
Violins
Frankly,
from
Charlotte,
94.
it's too much. I don't know. It's too much. This is where you start giving dropping the little names and the titles to kind of give a thing like the Ghost of Liberace and stuff. I like it. Okay. I was so
Right.
happy they were back because this is the one. It's funny.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, it's funny they're back to back. This is my number 20, and that was my number 21, but that was 88, and this is the next one that came out. This was 1994. So anyway,
Yeah.
gratuitous sax and senseless violins. Number 20 for me.
Okay. Now, my number 19, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So, my number 19, you've already covered it a little bit lower for you. It's In Outer Space from 1983.
Gotcha.
And we all know the situation with that one.
Cool places.
Cool
Praying.
Places, probably the biggest hit they've had so far, ever, maybe.
Yep. Yep.
On U.S. radio.
It is.
That's for sure.
Well, here. Yep. I agree, man. I agree. I was happy to see him dance. Goddamn, it's kind of funny. Bunch of guys from outer space. A little bit strange, but it's a good record. It's just again, like you say, there's a lot better ones. It was playing.
Yeah, yeah, but I like that period. That whole period in the '80s was big for me. A lot of that. So,
Well, we're going to keep
uh,
going to the same things, brother, because on my number 19, I'm going back to your recent one from 1997. Their own cover record, Plagiarism, where
plagiarism. Yeah,
you have a lot of these people. And it's the only one not on vinyl that I don't have here.
right.
I have it on CD. It's one of the
I originally bought it on cassette.
yeah,
That's
okay.
what-
It's all right. What do you think are the best things on it? I mean, do you ever go back and ever play it? I mean,
No, I haven't gone back to. But the funny thing was, when I first got it, when it was released, I grabbed it right away.
what was the one?
And
What yeah, what was the one
I
that
like the Faith No More tracks. I like that. And I think they did This Town, Faith No More. I believe that's the one they covered.
yeah,
Was you know what I mean?
yeah, what was the one that
Uh,
Erasure did? I like that one.
yeah, they did. They jumped in there too. Erasure did. Um, but let's see.
I don't remember, but I
Yeah,
or the guy from Erasure, I think.
yeah, Andy Bell.
Right.
He was yeah, and I mean it was a great. I I mean I like the fact that everybody kind of paid homage to them. You know,
Yeah,
I it was just pretty cool.
yeah, that was
I like,
big time. I mean, they just come back.
and
That 94, and that's 97. So,
and Visconti was involved in that. Tony Visconti. Did
well,
you
I
remember that?
found that out. I'm sorry, and that but makes it all. Yeah, it should be on vinyl.
Yeah, it. I would think so, right?
That's right. So must be some licensing thing or something. Must be some.
That's what I think is what it was. But it was a really I like the effort. It's just not something I listen to that much. I listened to it for about 3 months constantly, and then I never picked it up again.
Well,
You know?
they were demonstrating as a body of work. They pretty powerful. So, and they demonstrate. All that record's packed with them. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. They did that. Faith No More. Remember, I said this town ain't big enough, and they did that and something for the girl with everything.
Oh, right,
They
right,
they
right,
they
right,
played on that. Jimmy Somerville did number one song in heaven from Bronski Beat.
right. The guy from Tell
From
Me
Bronski Beat.
Why. The guy Brooke
Yeah.
Beat.
And
Yeah,
Erasure was on
yeah,
Amateur Hour
yeah,
with them. They did Amateur Hour.
yeah. That's right. Okay, what's 18, man, for you, buddy?
For me, well, you're probably gonna have this a lot higher than me. Uh, my 18 is the soundtrack 2021's a net.
Okay,
Yeah,
we have it right here, my friend. And a lot of it some of it's soundtrack music. So wait.
it's soundtracky, but it's got some, and it's got the opening song of the 23 and 24 tour. You that was the opener, man. That was the number one song they did every night on those back to back North American tours.
Yeah, that duet between Driver and the girl, we love each other so much is beautiful too. That's a great song.
Oh yeah,
That
yeah. I mean, there's some really good songs on it.
yeah, yeah. I like it. I like it. I think it's great. I've got the
Can we start? I mean, and that was the big promo for the album and the film.
yep. Yep. Let me see where I'm gonna go here next. I'm going to go to number 18. And my number 18 is going to be the weird. I've always thought this is one of the weirdest records that I never ever was ever explained to me to any understanding what the reason was for this. Introducing Spark. After they've been around forever as like they're a brand new band. This is a beautiful promo copy. A big
uh,
surprise, ladies. I'm not forever young. You know who's a big fan of this? Flea is. Flea talks about this record. Girl.
Yeah, there were it was at someone's apartment or something when he used to go there, and he played it all the time.
Incredible. But these pictures, like these bubblegum cards, look at Ron, man. Look how they've got Ron like all white, mustache all
Very suave. And Ron played. The
made up.
funny thing is, Ron played high school football. Can you can you believe that he played football in high school?
Yeah. I like
What?
Occupation. I like Forever Young. I like Over. but no, I'm not really.
Yeah,
They had a
yeah.
lot of good record people on here. A lot of good players on this. David Foster,
Oh yeah.
David Page, the one of the Precaro guys. So
Well, them being in yeah, and them being in L.A., they always had this treasure trove of musicians they could pull from. Whenever they needed somebody to fill in or need somebody in the session.
you got it, brother. That's it.
So that's your 18,
That was
right?
my number eight. No, that was my number 18. Correct, 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 correct.
So I'm going to 17.
Yes, sir.
My 17 is from 1977, and it's Introducing Sparks.
That's the same thing. This guy right there. Keep it up here, bump. What
That's it.
you like on it?
That's
Big surprise. Occupation, ladies. Forever young. I'm not goofing off. Girls on the brain over the summer. Those mysteries. I hate
so
the.
we were almost completely in sync on
Yeah, we
that
are so far. It's unbelievable. But
on that one.
that was your number 17.
That was 17. Yeah,
Well, I'm gonna just hop, skip, and jump you too, and of course because of the lack of other songs on it, but the fact that I adore the songs that are on there were to the soundtrack of Annette,
and that
17,
there, yeah,
2017. And my wife and I must tell you, we saw this movie. We saw actually the Sparks Brothers movie, the documentary that was released. We saw that when we went to the beach. We saw it was being released, so we went there to the down there, and we were going to Rehoboth Beach. We went and sat, and there was hardly anybody there. We went to the first showing, like in the day, and we did
right.
the same thing when Annette came out. We went down to Reston. And we got in this beautiful theater, and we were there, and there was only like four or five other people in it, but man, I thought they were both really powerful. I thought
So
it
you saw them both on the big screen.
big
That's
time.
great.
It's just I was well. I happened to be when we're going right by. I'm coming into the beach driving in. I'm like, they got Sparks down here.
We're going.
Lisa said we're going, so I'm like, hot dog, man. She.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She loves the band.
Well, my
Yeah.
kids do too. So my kids
So
saw
they got to see it on the big screen too. That's
the
awesome.
documentary. Yeah, that was awesome, and
Oh my God.
they saw both. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. That's amazing.
I try to be a good father. What can I say? I expose them to good stuff. Well, what's your
My daddy rocks. That's what
yeah? What's your
that's what they say. My daddy rocks.
He tries to. What's
So let's go to 16 from 2008. Exotic Creatures of the Deep.
with the monkey on the front? With the monkey on the front.
Yes.
With good morning, and good morning. That's a great one.
It's a
I've
solid album. It really is.
I've never been high. She got me pregnant. Lighten up more.
Right.
Director never yelled cut. Brenda's is always in the wash. Uh,
Right.
this is the Renaissance. Yeah, this is great. Let the monkey drive. Of course, is the
Once again, that could have ended up in the top 10 maybe
yeah
someday. I
yeah.
don't know. You know,
Great release they had here of it. I, of course, bought it right off their website, which I bought
Exotic Creatures.
most of the new ones they had. This is another non one that was just canceled.
Love the name of the. I mean, Sparks has so many great album titles.
They
You
do.
know,
They do.
Exotic Creatures of the Deep.
Well, I'm going to go on another recent one, too, and one I think that kind of helped them out and kind of moved the
Right.
needle a little bit for them recently. And I'm talking about one that you can consider some of a Renaissance or the residue of the Renaissance from
Right.
Ferdinand or whatever. And I'm talking about the Bizarro 1917 Hippopotamus, a surprise hit
Yes.
over in Europe and places and went, what the hell is it this time? So Mrs. Lincoln, aside from that, how was it play? They're still doing that stuff like they did on Gratuitous with that missionary position, Scandinavian giddy giddy. What the hell is this? My wife really likes this record. I wish
It is. It's
it
a
were fun,
yeah.
but
I like it a lot.
yeah, Life with the Macbeths. Yeah, this is one of Lisa's favorites. Lisa played this all the time. But this is the inside, beautiful inside of the record here. 2 record set, gorgeous, lovely.
Yeah.
I'll show you the inside here, the sleeves of this. Plus, you get a hippopotamus that'll
Yeah.
thing drawing special from
Oh yeah, it's great. And you get the vinyl, so you get all of the. You get everything. You get
an
all the graphics.
autograph, not printed. They're double autograph there of here on it because
Yeah.
got it within a period of time. But I mean,
I
in
got.
the UK and they about shit their pants. They couldn't believe all the success of it. But anyway, that's
Yeah.
hippopotamus, and that is my number 16, man.
Yeah. That is your 16. My 15 we're going right back to Earwell again. The girl is crying in her latte from 2023.
Understand.
That is
Yours is
my
higher than
15.
mine is, brother, but I understand it. I look at the night.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is what it is. And it's, I liked it. We saw the tour. They didn't
Great.
do a lot from the album,
Yeah, it was really good.
but
Really good.
yeah, the album's solid. I mean, they just keep producing, and I got a feeling. I think we're getting a new one in 2025. I think we'll
Yeah.
get a
I
new.
think one of the ones I failed to mention was the grandiose. It doesn't have to be that way. That was really good.
Right.
That was really good.
It is good. So that was my 15.
That was your 15. My 15, I'm going to go to the brilliant collaboration that I just talked about with Franz Ferdinand, the
Ah,
FFS Johnny Delusional Call Girl, little guy from the suburbs, police encounters, man without a tan, clever,
FFS.
piss off, which I love, man. So many bridges. Look at me. Piss off is really funny.
And
I need to
I
piss off tonight. I love.
and I dropped I dropped it, and I could have gone. I had tickets to that thing.
Oh my God.
The That was either at the Lincoln or at the Warner. I can't remember now. And I kicked myself in the ass for about 3 months for not going.
Yeah, I have a feeling this record's going to shoot up because I don't think they'll probably make a lot more. I wish they'd get back. They'd do one more. I thought it was pretty. It's kind of
They're good.
out
They're
of,
good together.
really out of left field, man.
They're great. They're great together.
2016's man, FFS, my number 15.
Wow. Okay, my number 14 is from 2000. It's called Balls.
I got you, man. All you need are balls,
Saw that live. It was fantastic.
dude.
They
The
pull that out. They do it a lot.
record and my
They do the title track a lot.
and Blake is really fond of this record. Blake loves it.
Yeah,
Blake
it's
and
a
I used
good
to back and forth from the front seat to the back seat on vacation stuff. Blake loves "It's a Knockoff." That's his favorite.
it's great.
Blake, that's the best,
It's
man.
great. He's got good taste.
He liked it. All right, man.
But that was my 14
That's
balls.
14. Okay, I'm going to go to one I don't have. I told you, but I do have, but I don't have. I can't find it, along with the music that you can dance to, which I think I have even one or two versions of,
Right.
is the Hello Young Lovers, the one with the rabbits all over the front.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Dick Around, and all that. I love that record. That's number 14.
Oh my God, Dick Around live is fantastic, dude.
2006, and that also has the famous the closer, right? Isn't that what's the last song on that record too?
Oh
Oh no, that's the one on the other one. That's the one on the,
yes,
okay. Yeah, man. Hello Young Lovers, great for me. 2006, love it. Wish I had it on vinyl to show it to you here now, but do not. So
I got you.
that's it, man.
So that was your
Number 14,
uh,
2006. Hello Young
okay.
Lovers.
I got you. So my 13 is way lower on your chart, but my number 13 is Pulling Rabbits Out of a Hat from
Oh my God.
1984.
Is your number is Pulling Rabbits Out of Hat is number what? Let me
My 13.
okay.
Yeah.
What is it, man? Where do we differ on this sucker, man? What do you like about it the best?
Well, it was one of my 80s period
Yeah,
albums, and I liked it when I listened to it, but I like, it was one of those albums I listened to a lot when it came out, and then when I went back to try to listen to it, I had problems with some of it. You know what I mean?
Sparks.
I mean, I love Pulling Rabbits out. It was great.
Everybody Move, a song itself that sings itself. Kiss Me Quick, Sister, Sparks in the Dark, Pretending to Be Drunk, Love Scenes, Pulling Rabbits, Progress, With All My Mind. Yeah, I guess it's in a way it's kind of loosely connected to that rock period. I guess we say they're kind of
Pretending to Be Drunk could go either way.
yeah,
It was poppy and everything, but a lot of people didn't like it.
yeah.
I guess I thought it was pretty decent, but it wasn't as Sparks like as anyone had been used to, for that period. I guess maybe that was it.
So what number is
But
that, man?
that's my 13.
That's your number 13. Well, my number 13
Yeah.
is going to be one that we talked about before with "Good Morning." Ding, 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 ding.
Exotic
like it. I like it
creatures.
a lot. Uh,
It is great.
See, I like it better than some of the other ones in that period. I've Never Been High is really funny. Let the Monkey Drive, of course, is the main thing. Strange Animal. So this is
Right.
one where they have the picture with the monkey, but I love the photos of them. They're starting to really grow their career. You can tell about this time, and it's just nice to see them with the. Here's the inside picture of Russ.
Yeah.
That one of the inside picture of Ron, I think, is on this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Neat
So I
lyrics on the other side, but yeah, man. That's Exotic Creatures of the Deep, and that's one of the ones that's one of the newer ones that came out on vinyl that they have reissued that was originally not on vinyl in that CD only period.
well, we weren't too far off on that one.
No,
Exotic creatures was 16 on my list, I
yep,
believe. Yeah, it's great. It's one of the later period albums that I think is really really good. Uh, so yeah, that was my 13. That was your 13 also.
correct.
Uh, my 12 is music that you can dance to from '86.
Okay, you got to another
Yeah.
one right up there.
Well, you know what? It's probably just because of the title track. I
That's
used to,
a great
I
song.
used to play that a lot, and I mean, the album was solid, and that's probably, honest to God, if I would say that's probably why I put it up so high was because of the title track. I like the title track.
Well, I'm going to go to my number 12. I'm going to go to the place that we talked about before, which is when they had a different name in 1971, Half Nelson or the Sparks record. Joe, you can put that.
Wow, so that's up there for you. Yep,
That's up there for me because it's early on. I like some
it's good. It's
more
very good.
too. I like some, Fletcher on Arama. Some of these were on that other uh Wolfer and Tweeter's Clothing bootleg that preceded us with like
That
Rock Back.
that went with it. Yeah,
I love
yeah.
that stuff. My kids really like that. Roger, of course, High C. Yeah, I like it. I mean, you can hear the Todd thing, but this one, Earl and Jim Mankey were both in the band. They actually had a band. It was the two male brothers,
Yeah.
and they had the guys from California, and it was the male brothers, and then the Mankey brothers, and then
Oh yeah.
another drummer. But anyway, yeah, man, that's my number 12. The unlikely signing of Half Nelson. It started this whole by our wonderful friend Todd Rundgren in 1970 and 1971 release Half Nelson. Number
And I told you I ran into that couple in DC a few years ago. I think it was at the 22 tour, and they were in their 70s,
Yeah.
and they were old Todd heads from the Philadelphia area,
Oh my.
and they bought Half Nelson the week it came out on vinyl. They still have it, and they bought it because Todd produced it, and Todd was talking about it, and they fell in love with Sparks, and they have gone to. Oh, I mean, they've been in Europe, and they saw Sparks in
Oh,
Europe,
wow,
but they have seen Todd and Sparks like 50 times each. Over the year, they're in their late 70s,
yeah.
and they were there,
Dedicated.
and they yeah, so they traveled around on that tour. They were seeing him everywhere: Atlanta, DC, New York. They
Wow.
were all over the
Well,
place.
because it's such a rarity.
Yeah, or they were all over wherever Sparks played that tour, on the East Coast. They went because they've been retired for years. But total Todd heads and total Half Nelson heads because of Todd,
Yeah.
and they were like, these guys are fantastic, and they've been following them ever since.
Nice, man. You're number 11. I think we're gonna end our part
We're
one.
gonna end. We're gonna stop here at 11, and it's from 2002. It's Little Beethoven.
Oh my golly, my golly, my golly, my golly. Little Beethoven from 2002. Let me grab it out of here and we'll talk about it.
Yes.
What did you think about it? It kind of had a big, didn't it have kind of a big,
It got a lot of press when it came out, and
that's big for,
critics were all over it
oh
when it was
yeah.
released.
Oh yeah. Huge.
And it's one of those, I don't want to say Renaissance periods for them, but it was a damn good album, and
Again, they
it,
continue with the theme, but how do I get to Carnegie Hall?
yeah,
What are these? I married myself. Your call is very important to us. That's what's great, fuck.
yeah,
And of
that's
course,
what I mean. And
and,
everything on it,
yeah,
like 80 to 90% of that album, I can listen to over and over
yeah.
again.
Rhythm Thief. Yeah,
Rhythm Thief, I've seen live.
yeah. I'm the suburban home.
Homeboy with Suburban Homeboy, They did that both nights of the Two Hands One Mouth tour.
People.
Both nights they did that. Yeah, it's a
Anyway,
great album. It's a very
yeah,
good album.
kind of launched them back into the critics.
Right into the 2002, right after the turn of the century, there, the millennium.
Yeah.
Uh, and it's a great album. I love it.
Well, since you're number 11, we might as well demonstrate unity because it's my number 11 also. Little bit number 11.
Little Beethoven.
And it was
See,
11 here.
it's right there, man.
Nice label and stuff inside. I showed it to you guys. Yeah, certainly a very important record. Like I say, I think it really led to a lot of critical and acclaim. And from that point, since then, the critics have loved them. They've been critic starlings and are
Yeah,
certainly a higher profile with critics and higher profile critics,
yeah.
paying attention to them.
And like it's one of my it's all thriller, no filler on that one,
Oh
man.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
that thing is loaded for bear. That album.
it is. And it's a
Yeah,
shame that it had to fall out. But I guess that's where it's going to end here. And at phase one, we're about 46 minutes, Dino. So what do you say? We're going to come back for the second one. Make sure you guys like the video. And watch the other part, please, which is going to be a separate video. Like the video, please subscribe, hit the like button. It doesn't take that much time to hit that like button. It can do us a favor. It does not a big sacrifice for you. We really appreciate it. We also appreciate if you guys would leave all your comments, leave your list, let us know what's happening. Subscribe if this is the thing you like, please,
absolutely.
because we're coming back. We're going to keep coming to you. We're not going to go. We're going to be like a bad rash. We're not going to go away.
Gonna be a top 10 coming your way.